Welcome to the Divine Feminines podcast and channel. I'm your host, Steph Desar, and in today's episode, I'm sharing 15 daily manifestation habits to help you create your outer reality and make all your dreams come true. So before I get started, don't forget to like and subscribe this channel. We're Divine Feminines on all major podcast platforms. That's Apple, Google, Spotify, as well as YouTube. And on YouTube, we have special content that is released every so often with the moon cycles, portal energy updates, and then we're also on Instagram and TikTok with Divine Feminines with a Z at the end. While I can subscribe this channel, well, particularly on YouTube, like I said, you get extra content, bonus content, and there's something for everyone, guys and girls, on mind, body, soul empowerment, soul growth, soul journey, really understanding how to navigate on this journey. I share my own experiences, twin flames, soulmates, high vibrational soul connections, loads of stuff, great stuff. So especially as we are embarking and currently in this time right now of formulating the new earth from within ourselves and collectively. So it's a really powerful moment. So let's get started. Manifestation. I have done a couple of episodes on manifestation. I'm going to do some more because it's a topic that never really runs dry, if I'm honest, because we are constantly creating. We were created by the creator to create. This is why we're here on earth. And it's a lot of why we're here on earth is actually to realize our powers and remember that true essence that we have within us, that power that can co-create, can manifest with the universe, and can make our realities come true, like impact our reality, make those dreams come true, and really drive them consciously. But we have to be conscious and we have to be deliberate and we have to be intentional with that, as well as we have to be consciously healing. We have to be aware of where we create our own blocks and where we're in our own way. You know, that phrase of, you're getting in your own way, right? So anyway, I'm going to go through these 15 daily habits and I hope they help you. And I'm also going to cover some topics in the future around manifestation, but do let me know what you think and how well these habits work for you. Now, you don't have to use all 15. What I'm going to list out are ones that I think are really useful. Do I use them every day? Some days, not all of them, but I do use a lot of these, and I can tell you that they work wonders. I've shared some of these tips with others and particularly had great feedback from people. So it works. You've got to do the work and you've got to work on yourself as well. Some of us can come from that sort of wounded place of why am I feeling heavy? Why are things not shifting? Oh my gosh, oh, it's because of this person, it's because of that. Oh, I'm with family and friends. Oh, they did this, they did that. Oh, that's dragging me down. Or I'm at work and oh, why is that happening at work? And oh, it's chaos. But in all of that, the one true essence, what's the common denominator in all of that? The people at work are not with your family and friends, and vice versa. It's you. So it's about going back and going within and working out what is it that I can, change within myself. Is it something that I need to work on? Is it a decision I need to make? Do I need to walk away from certain people, situations? Do I need to find a new job? Do I need to, actually do more self-discovery aligned to my soul's purpose? And I did do an episode on the soul's purpose. And I did mention in that episode, actually, that you will notice that your manifestations come to fruition much more smoothly and beautifully when you are aligning to your soul's purpose. Remember, we're not meant to be manifesting for the sake of materialism. We're not meant to be doing this. It's got to be aligned to who we authentically are and how those manifestations can expand our true essence of who we are and what we're here to do here on earth. So as long as those manifestations are coming from a place of pure intention from the heart, there is nothing that can get in your way. Yes, you might have some lack thinking, mentality, so subconscious brain work and just going into your shadow and making sure you're releasing and doing any healing is also going to allow you to really propel forward. Right, So let's go through these tips. Number one's around writing your notes on a day-to-day basis, but your goals and key performance indicators, your KPIs. We use that at work a lot. But what are your goals? Now you could have really big, you could have 2 really big goals, 3 really big goals. Write them out and review them regularly. And what I like to say is, those big goals might be quite audacious. There's no goal too big, there's no dream too big, right? So don't feel like you need to play small. And watch out for that episode. Stop playing small, because I'm going to do that soon. And I definitely feel that that needs to be said. That's another message I need to give. But yeah, make sure that those goals are written down with maybe any sub goals or micro goals, and just write down everything about those goals as you achieve them. So every day, keep a diary or keep a notebook, a notepad. Maybe before you go to bed at night, you can just look back at your goals and you can be like, oh, this is what's happened, or this is progressed. Now, some days it might not feel like it's progressed a lot, but that's okay, because there's an art to manifestation where, we need to use our masculine and feminine. Sometimes we are in the masculine and we need to push forward, and sometimes we need to wait and be a bit receptive and allow things to bubble up because we're being assisted with other resources. But it's really good to have this, and what matters is that you're evaluating your journey and you're also able to see how you're progressing and to figure out, how you can make maybe certain things better, refine your plan, maybe go, that approach didn't really work out well. Oh, okay, I have another way around it. So having this is a really great way to just keep recalling your goals. Now, I do a lot around the moon, and I always do videos around it where possible. I've even had some events. We've got an event coming up. It's on the full moon in Aries. Check that out. It's on the Instagram page or on the YouTube website link for a select few in London. But we also did one on the new moon, and with a new moon, you can really call in your goals. And every new moon, you can reference back to those big goals. So that's also a great time as well. So if you're interested in moon cycles and how to connect the goals, check out some of my content. Look out for new moon videos coming up soon as well. Okay, so number 2, memorize these goals. Know them like the back of your hand. If someone asked me what my goals are, I could tell you straight away. I could tell them straight away, and I pretty much know, the key things for me, the top 3 to 5. So I'm not saying that you need to know it word for word, but really, you can keep the entire goal and all this micro goals that are part of that bigger goal in your diary, in your journal. But it'd be good to know like a good gist of it, and you can repeat it every day and you can say it out loud. Now, I always say take goals and wishes and turn them into affirmations. So really take that and translate it into affirmations, and then make sure you can be able to affirm them and say them like they are already here. So it's like, I am a thriving public speaker. I create events that are sold out and that are highly sought for from the spiritual community. Okay, so just to give you that example, and that's exactly what we do at the new moon. But when you know them off by heart, you could just say them off the reel of your tongue, off the tip of your tongue. You could say them very first thing in the morning, last thing at night, whatever works for you. But it's very good to be saying them daily. So it's really good to know a lot of them off by heart, or as much as you can. You can have them written down in your book, even in your phone, in your notepad, and you can kind of, always retrieve them whenever you need. So the next one, number 3, is break down those goals. I sort of said that already, but celebrate the milestones, celebrate the small wins. It's so true that we get caught up in like, oh, the end goal, but actually it's in the unfolding that's the beauty. And those small wins actually are very powerful. And if you go to see that all of those small wins built up and aggregated together are so much more powerful than just getting to the end of that goal, right? I mean, when you're at the end of that goal, you'll be like, wow, and you must look back and look at how the journey was and what you learned in that journey and how it got you to where you got to, and maybe why you needed to experience certain things along that way. Otherwise, that goal wouldn't have been so meaningful, or you may have not been ready for it yet. So it's important to, like celebrate the small wins. So say like you were trying to lose some weight, you were trying to lose, I don't know, 10 kilos. Okay, you're not going to lose 10 kilos in like 2 days or 2 weeks maybe, or you don't want to be losing extreme weight, but you could maybe lose a kilo in a couple of weeks. Great, write that down. And then you're like 9 kilos to go. Do you know what I mean? And as long as, or it could be like you're learning a new language, and you're learning different parts of the languages, and so you first start off with the alphabet and the numbers and stuff, and then you start moving into basic verbs and stuff. I study languages, so, but I mean, everyone knows this, right? If you remember what you did in school. But then, so you can say, oh, I did this module, I did this, and then, oh, I got to all the different like tenses, and I did the future and the conditional tense and the past tense. Wow, I know all of the past, yeah, I know all of the key verbs and all the different, masculine and feminine articles against them, if we're talking French, Italian, Spanish. So yeah, so make sure you think about those small wins, celebrate them, even treat yourself. Flipping heck, man. Make a party of it. However you want to treat yourself, get yourself a nice little treat, take yourself out for dinner, whatever it is, just to celebrate, because it's important. It's important to feel that vibration of success as well, because that only vibrates more of it as well. Number 4 is around scripting. So scripting can be very much like you writing your affirmations, but it's going deeper. It's going into detail. So like how that has played out and how it feels for you. So, if you are with a sellout event status and it feels great and people have been giving me great feedback, and there was so much energy in the room, and there was great photos and content being taken, and everyone left on a high, and it was such a beautiful, peaceful and magical experience, and the air just felt warm but light, and you could go deep. You could really write it in a deep way, to the point that you're just scripting in a way that, when you read a book and you read a novel and you literally get that visualization, because they describe it in such detail that you're like, I'm literally there. Do everyone knows that when you read a fiction book, especially, like, you're there. What was the book that I quite enjoyed? Is it Northern Lights? God, that's years ago. I don't really read fiction books anymore. Very much into the spirituality stuff. But yeah, Northern Lights really got my mind and my imagination going. So get your imagination going. The next one, number 5, is use a vision board. By the way, on the scripting, do it as much as you can. Whenever you get time, get in that journal. As much as you do the updates on your goals, script a bit more, write a bit more. If you're feeling a bit, as things are progressing, you might start to feel into some of those goals deeper and more, and actually go, oh, and I feel it will be like this, and it's, this is how I want it kind of unveiling. Obviously, we should never be so fixated on a goal or a manifestation unveiling in a set way. We have to be open and receptive to the universe, because as we may think in our human and in our 3D reality, this is the way that that this will play out. There's so many other ways that things can play out, and trust me, from personal experience, I'm like, oh my God, that has manifested for me, but it played out in such a way that I never even thought possible. But it was even better than I thought. So you have to be open to that and not be so stuck, because otherwise you kind of hold it back. But then number 5 is something I think is amazing. Always do a vision board. Now, you might have done one at the beginning of the new year. You might have refreshed it mid-year or around the astrological new year. Some refresh their vision board every few months. If you don't have one, it's never too late. Create one. It's really great to get nice pictures and actually have a physical one. But I'm quite digital, and I didn't really want mine up in my place. I just got one on my phone, and I just look at it every day as part of my affirmations, and I kind of know it off by heart in my head, actually, what that looks like. So vision board's really great, because it also helps with the visualization, the imagination, but also really feeling that it's there. because you're seeing it and you're feeling it and then you're thinking about it, and that's when things really kind of marinate and ruminate into the ether. Right, number 6 is, listen to meditations. Make sure you're listening to audiobooks as well, like empowerment stuff. Read also empowering stuff, but meditations, podcasts like this, audiobooks that are talking really, productive, high vibrational, empowering content that is going to help you add value to your knowledge, your wisdom. So, some people get really, really drowned out by like a hectic lifestyle and they can't sit down with a book, but you can play that audio book as you go to bed. You can even have it in your earplugs if, you don't want to disturb a partner. But yeah, this is a great way to just have that stuff sort of being filtered through to your subconscious brain, and a great time because you're going into theta, which is the frequency just before you're falling asleep, and it's a great time to have this sort of empowering transmission into your field. Okay, so number 7 is creating and cultivating a feeling of abundance and practice gratitude. It's when we are grateful for what we get and what we have, and what we've got right now is when we attract more greatness. If we are complaining about what is right now and we're picking at things and we're playing victim, we're only going to attract more of the energy of just being in that space. But when we're grateful for what we have right now and we look at all the good things around us, not only does it make us feel good, right? It makes us feel special, it makes us feel abundant, but then it only attracts more of it, So at the same time, it's really crucial to be thankful for all the blessings, and let the universe know how grateful you are, and how like every moment I'm constantly like, oh wow, if I meet someone I'm like, oh, I'm so grateful I met this person, or if I'm getting a massage, I'm like, oh, I'm so grateful for this massage. I'm at the yoga class, before I go in I'm like, I'm thankful for this yoga teacher, I'm so grateful for this moment and for the time I've taken out for myself. It's like it's a constant thing and it's really helpful. The next one's so simple, number 8, smile. It's as simple as that. Smiling is a great vibrational body movement and it sends signals all around the body, especially even laughing as well. So if you can smile and laugh too, take that in. Okay, 9, be kind to yourself. It's a simple one. Why would you want to bear yourself up for something you did, or like be hard on yourself? If you make a mistake, you make a mistake. Just accept it and just keep moving, Just cherish who you are and love yourself. Like you might have done something, you thought, oh no, I could have done it better. But don't beat yourself up. Like I said, keep it moving and just roll with it, roll with the tide. Number 10 is practice diaphragmic breathing. It's so funny because I went to a yoga class recently and it was one at a resort, and the teacher came in, and obviously he'll see different people because there's different people staying at the resort, and he came in and he hardly taught yoga. Well, you could say he did teach yoga, but he literally went into the core foundations of diaphragmic breathing. He asked everyone in the class, do you know where your diaphragm is? What does it do? Why is it there? Like seriously, like he went into technical stuff. And it was really important actually, because everyone in that class actually realized that they might have not really been breathing properly. Diaphragmic breathing is really breathing into your belly. It's when we breathe here in our chest that actually creates a lot of stress. And yogic breathing, and this is, you learn a lot when you do yoga, is that you breathe through the nose, in and out, through to the stomach, and it is there. And this is our center, our tummy is our center of energy. It is our force. It is our center point. Solar plexus energy, our confidence, how we really show up, how we take our action, who we are. So it's a really important place. But this enables you to tap into your parasympathetic nervous system when you can do diaphragmic breathing into your stomach. And you can start to really do this and then do breath work or meditations, guided ones. You are starting to help your parasympathetic nervous system activate, and you start to really relax, and you can have great meditations. Now it takes practice, but it is really worth it. and it really helps you to kind of go into a much more relaxed state. It also helps with digestion and just overall mindfulness, wellness of the mind, and just being. Number 11 is not is an interesting one. Well, it's not an interesting one. It's one that I think I don't even have on my list because it just doesn't exist. But quit watching TV, or at least keep it to a minimum. Like, think about what you're spending your time on when you watch the TV. Um, I never have my TV on, and if it's on, it's YouTube videos with empowerment talks or like vibrational binaural beats or frequencies. Maybe the odd tarot reader here and there because I love that, but I discern what I watch, or like it's an energy update or it's an astrology video about a new moon or new movements. So, but there is a gaining of information, and it's aligned to who I am on my journey right now. So just be conscious of what you are watching. And there's a lot of TV just prevents you from indulging in much more beneficial activities. When people say, "Oh, I've binged on this and that," it's like, well, you sat there and watched Netflix all night or for the whole weekend. What else could you have been doing? And even if you're with your partner, right? Could you and your partner not be doing something a bit more productive? Like, maybe you both have goals. Maybe you could sit down, you can still be with each other, but maybe you could be working on those goals with each other. Maybe not necessarily, doesn't have to be like, oh, doing it together, but then you can help each other. So it's like, yeah, like, think about these things. It's really important, just, or even just sitting on social media and just watching social media and being on like TikTok and Instagram and constantly consuming it. Ask yourself, go to your screen time and see how long you're on these apps, and then say to yourself, actually, could I not exchange that time for something else? I did recently. I actually deleted my WhatsApp, and then I actually put it back on and put it to like a 5 or 1 minute 1 minute limit. And I hardly engage with many people on there now, and it used to be a place where I'd be on there quite a lot because I'd be using it a lot, and then people would start conversating with me, and then that would be it. It just end up sucking my time, and I found myself to be so much more productive, and things were like moving and shifting faster, and I was seeing great results. So however that looks, like TV, media, anything like that. Okay, number 12, work out regularly. I love this one. When you work out, you immediately elevate your body's vibration and frequency, and it's just good for you, mind, body, soul. Like, it's just powerful. You also shake off any excess stagnant energy, and you feel good. So it just has a great, release, and you're releasing endorphins, which feel good hormone, feeling happy hormone. Um, I don't do cardio every day, but I alternate between like doing yoga. Yoga's maybe like 3, 4, maybe sometimes 5 times a week. In between that, there'll be like cardio, boot camp. Sometimes I do the cardio after yoga. Some days, if it's just like, ugh, it's miserable and I don't really want to be like hanging around in the rain or whatever, I just do stuff indoors, and I do like yoga, stretching, and things like that. But when you're doing that on a regular basis, if you have a day where you're just doing a bit more stretching and not as much cardio, your body's still elevated. It's still doing well. You're keeping things going. I might not do loads of cardio, and I might walk a lot and like rack up, like, I don't know, 15,000 steps. And that's great because that's still activity, that's still moving. So whatever that is for you, but really treating your body, you have to exercise your body. You've got to get it moving. It's so important for every part of life. Personally, if I don't do any exercise, or I haven't like sweated, because like doing yoga, you can sweat, you can, don't get me wrong, but I know I'm a person that needs to do cardio and do some like actual kind of rigorous sort of high pace, high intensity type exercising. If I don't do it, I actually really crave it. It's crazy. I'm like, oh, the body needs it, it's wanting it, it's talking to me. So listen to your body. And if you haven't been exercising, then your body might not say it's craving it because you've kind of got into a habit. But when you get out of that habit, your body will come back and be like, we like this. This is good for us. You just been holding us back, girlfriend, guy friend. Anyway, number 13, eat healthy. I love this one. Again, it's all about mind, body, and soul. What we eat doesn't just affect our body, it affects our mind, it affects everything. Your body's a vessel, so you need to treat it with respect. And sometimes we neglect its value and we just we push it too far. And we have to be conscious about what we consume. As you guys know, I went on the journey, went from being a meat eater to dropping red meat, then dropping chicken, and then being pescatarian, and then becoming vegetarian, and now been vegan for 2 years and more. And it's amazing. And I have noticed that it does elevate your vibration massively. And I never planned on this. It naturally unfolded and it just felt right as I was transforming on my journey. So, you know, there's lots of different versions of vegetarianism, but think about the food that you're putting in your body and if it's helping you to nourish your body. That's why also I fast a lot, and a lot of you know that if you've listened to a lot of the other podcast episodes. And with the fasting, one of the biggest things is I'm so focused when I wake up and I don't eat. And then when I do eat, I have real respect for what I'm actually having, and then I'm very conscious about what I'm putting into my body because I'm treating it with that love. So don't get me wrong, I still have like a treat and everything here and there, and I do indulge, but it's just reasonable. It's not ridiculous, and it's not like putting the body through over processing of food. Like, we're not supposed to eat loads of food. We have a very small system that processes and digests food, so why would we overeat? It's just a man-made thing. A lot of these things have become man-made, and the truth of the goodness of the earth and how ancient tribes were living was nothing like that. Do your research yourself, and you'll probably find out that a lot of the ancient tribes were plant-based, or very, very careful about the types of food they were eating. And I'm talking go way, way back. Don't, like, I'm sure some people will turn around and go, yeah, but certain tribes were killing animals and eating them. You need to go beyond their time. Remember I said that. All right, so 14, connect with nature. This is not in any order, because if it was, then this would be my number one. I'm always need to be near water, near a lake, near the sea, near the countryside, near the trees. Nature is just a magnificent privilege. It grounds us, it heals us. It's just such a beautiful sign of grandeur. It just go out, get a walk, and be there. If you're like always going out with your friends and stuff and like socializing, and you're like, oh, but I don't have enough time to like do that stuff, then stop going out with your friends, or just ditch like one or two of those meetups and go and hang out in the park. I'm doing that more. The trees are my friends. that's who my squad are. The trees and a couple of humans, but the trees are like my homies. Go and hug a tree. Smell the aromas of the blossom flowers. Like, really connect with nature. Take off your socks. Ground and earth. If you heard the term earthing, you get so much negative ions through your bare foot that help to heal and regenerate the body. We are so much like trapped in concrete jungle, in the concrete jungle of the world. And with technology, nature just pulls away all of that sort of dense energy that's been built up. Maybe you can even enjoy like a sunrise or a sunset. I like to also go for a walk. I'm doing a lot of like walking when it's nice weather, but if I can, then I'll do a walk in the day and I'll do another walk in the evening, where it goes from a day to night, and it's such a beautiful time. And I really like that kind of day to night, the polarity between day to night. The relationship with the sun and the moon. It's so beautiful. And the final one is wake up early in the morning, and try to be an early bird. That's probably the one for me that I have to push on, because I do wake up early, but I could wake up even earlier. And I think if I did, I could fit a lot more in. And I think that this is where, if you are like saying, oh, when am I going to get time to meditate? When am I going to get time to do this and this and that? You can wake up early and fit that in. I managed to fit everything in, and I don't have to wake up at like 5, but I'd love to wake up at 5. And I think that's one of the things I want to push for, is to wake up at 5 and start to shift to that time. So that will be my focus. how I can get closer to 5 a.m. because between 5 a.m. and 8 a.m., the amount of stuff you can do is incredible. Obviously, I know that some of you are watching, probably a lot of you have got kids, and this is another reason why waking up at 5 a.m. can help. If you are a single parent as well, you know, it can be quite a lot. So having that extra time in the morning and, you know, making sure you go to bed early, because that's another reason. Because if I'd go to bed late, then it puts pressure on getting up in the morning. But yeah, for those that do have kids or have quite a lot going on, the getting up early just gets you ahead of the day and allows you to make time for meditation, because you know, meditation needs to be a daily activity. It really does. And doing these rituals really need to help ground you. I love doing the meditation in the morning because then it makes me feel centered, grounded, and just really like good, and I've set that intention for the day. So that's it really. And of course, you know, you're most welcome to add anything else that works for you, that you find is positive, that has a great impact for you. But just start trying these out, and you might be already doing some of this. Maybe you think, oh, you know, I could change the approach. Look at that, see what it is. I will cover some more topics around why your manifestation might not be coming through, why you've really been trying to uh, create something but it's just hitting a block, or how can you amplify a manifestation without getting in your own way and stuff like that. So I will share that in future episodes, but I hope this has served you well, and I hope that you enjoy it. And don't forget to like and subscribe this channel and leave me a comment in the comments box, and I shall love and leave you. Mwah. Take care, Soul Tribe. Peace, love, light and abundance.